Hi there. Recently, I read a book called From Campus to Career: Navigating the First Few Years of the Job by Sue Shellenbarger. I learned a lot of techniques and skills that I think will be valuable to my future career, and so I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on those. The first one that I want to discuss comes from chapter 8, and that is that you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. There's a story about a woman that really stood out to me. She experienced one problem after another before an important presentation. She missed flights, she lost luggage, she even broke her phone. Forgot, I think she forgot a laptop charger. She could have easily panicked, but instead of panicking, she stayed calm and focused on what she could control. She bought a new outfit, borrowed a charger, and gave a successful presentation. In a professional setting, especially in business, marketing, or leadership, things are going to go wrong. It's inevitable. Deadlines will get missed, technology will always fail, and clients can easily change their minds. But if I let stress or a belief that I'm unlucky take over, my performance and decision making will suffer. Research in the reading even shows that believing you're unlucky can hurt your executive functioning and self control. And so the biggest takeaway from this chapter for me was that when I'm faced with problems, I need to stay calm, focus on the task at hand, and then remember that misfortune is often random, and I can't let a bad week win. The next lesson I want to talk about is from chapter 14, learning how to take negative feedback. This is something I've kind of always struggled with because once I receive the feedback, I really start to overthink and I spiral. I question my abilities. But this book actually says that those who can thrive on feedback can become strivers who are constantly learning and growing. And this is one of the most successful professionals. And it says that the most successful professionals don't avoid negative feedback, but they actively seek it. And the people who thrive on criticism see it as a tool for growth, not a personal attack. They believe their skills can improve with effort. Um, and that mindset completely changes how feedback feels. And instead of thinking like, I'm not good enough, they can reroute it to the thought process of this helps me get better and it's a learning opportunity. What stood out to me was that highly self aware people push through the discomfort and actually ask for feedback. They stay calm and say thank you for the feedback and reflect and then decide what and how to improve. And then this always takes a lot of confidence and self control. And in my professional life, especially in competitive industries, growth will depend on how coachable I am. If I only seek praise, I'll definitely stay comfortable and I won't be able to grow. But if I actively seek what can I do better, I'll be able to improve much faster and stand out as someone who's always trying to be the best version of myself rather than just staying at one level. And then the final lesson I want to talk about comes from chapter 26. I have always loved being busy and having responsibilities. But this chapter's idea is that being a star employee isn't just about working harder, but it's about working sustainably. Um, High achievers often go the extra mile. They put in long hours, take on extra projects, and they naturally become the people that everyone depends on. But research shows that when too many people rely on just one star, it creates, I guess, bottlenecks, and it just slows the entire team down, and then it will eventually increase the rate of burnout. And then it can just prevent others from developing their own skills. If one person's always taking on all the responsibility, other people don't have that opportunity to fail and learn and grow. What stood out to me was that long-term success requires a lot of delegation and boundaries, which is hard to learn how to do. Um, one of the people in the book realized that he was overloading himself and it wouldn't help him and his company grow, and he had to learn more hands off responsibilities to prioritize his time. He started prioritizing his family and everything like that, and he was able to see his team grow a lot more. In my future career, I will be tempting I will be tempted to say yes to everything to prove myself, especially in the beginning. But real leadership isn't about doing it all. It's really about empowering others, setting priorities and boundaries to protect your energy and be your best self and make your other team make the others in your team also be able to reach that higher standard. And then, like I said, the biggest takeaway here is just going the extra mile is powerful, but only if you don't run yourself to the ground doing it. These are some of my key takeaways. Should definitely read the book if you're interested. Thank you for listening.